Still no Loki, so Black Widow it is.
We love Widow.
Maybe in time for season 2. Spoiler!
What?
Hello, everybody. I'm Will.
And I'm Kristen.
This is So I'm Watching Loki. Woo! Episode 6. From here to always.
Shit. No. It was better than that. For all time, always.
For all
I think,
time,
yeah.
always.
For all time.
Always.
Huh?
What? Like the whole episode?
Yeah.
Oh. I get it.
Okay.
I'm there.
Run it.
No. I get why you're confused.
Okay. It's not even so much confused. It was just like, oh.
So, okay. This is literally the least of the 3 that I expected to get a season 2. So I'm already thrown there. It also didn't end because we're not finished. So
Where are you going?
yeah, I'm in a very kind of place. Like, I don't know. What do we think?
There was a lot of monologues, a lot of grandstanding.
Mm-hmm. A lot of Loki almost crying, but not quite. My bread and butter.
Sylvie had a chip on her shoulder.
Less of what I like, but especially after like 3 episodes where they've been relatively trusting of each other, and now she's just like, I can't trust anything you say. And I'm like, but why?
I'm fully prepared for this to be me being an idiot, but I was like, why? Like, why was she trying to kill him? Why was she so hell-bent on killing him?
Because
he's clearly some form of deity.
Well, sure.
Some form of celestial being.
Because he like ruined her life, which I understand. I mean, that's a chip you're allowed to have on your shoulder. Being stolen when you're tiny.
Sure,
and,
when you get to the cosmos, doesn't it like kind of...
I agree. For me, I am Loki in this situation, not Sylvie, where I'm like, hang on just a minute, because like, I don't want this responsibility. So like, let's maybe let whatever's going to happen.
So it's Jonathan Majors having a good time.
Hot. Yeah.
I love the when he was talking about the narcissism of the multiverse, and he threw in the little, hey, like your nose.
Yeah.
It's a very prominent nose.
He does. It's great.
He Who Remains. Yeah. Also, maybe something named Kang.
He's 100% Kang the Conqueror. He's cast in future.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't say it here, so
it's him.
I stand by what I said. Also, maybe something named Kang. I heard that word. He lived in a citadel at the end of time. Mm-hmm. Beautiful. Sure. I really appreciated.
So I looked it up. The thing it looked like was this Japanese art form called kintsugi, which is where when something's broken, you repair it with gold. And that's what the whole thing looked like. It was very cool.
Mm-hmm. We had a really interesting new Marvel intro with like quotes from Marvel. I liked it a lot, although I was sad to not have anything from Widow or Wanda. Especially I wanted Black Widow's She's Not Alone.
Oh, that'd be good.
I'm really angry.
I have a feeling it was just for this episode, if that is helpful in any way, because then it transferred into Greta Thunberg
and Nelson Mandela and
Malala.
Lucky Malala. That's what they call her.
Who the hell is Malala?
She's just this girl who got shot in the face because she read a book and now she's super famous.
Lucky Malala?
That's what they call her.
It seems that Miss Minutes is that bitch.
100%.
I mean, I pegged it, but so she was bypassing the TVA entirely and working straight for He Who Shall Be Named, He Who Remains.
Yeah. He's not Voldemort.
She offered both Lokis a place in their timelines and together.
Yeah.
I mean, she was really
reaching
pulling strings.
I will say it was not a very good gambit on her part, because she was like, for Loki at least, she was appealing to what he wanted before this whole thing. The throne, the power, Asgard, the subjugation of Earth, it's like, and he doesn't really, he's not in that place anymore.
But I mean, it's a very Galadriel.
Sure.
I mean, to be tempted.
Sure.
I kind of stan Miss Minutes.
She's
I kind of
great.
want her to be a
Yeah.
thing
She's
in
great.
the MCU.
Maybe she will.
Could you imagine a little holographic Miss Minutes figure? I want it so badly.
I think Miss Minutes and Doctor Strange would have a really good time sparring. So let's make that happen.
Yeah, I love it. So we completely forgot to mention Mobius last week.
We did. Someone in the comments, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Apologies.
He was like, I'm surprised you guys didn't talk about that. And I was like, meh.
Yeah.
So
look, sometimes there's so much stuff. We try really hard. Things are always going to slip through the cracks.
Well, he was there and it was great. And he was part of the team and he hugged Loki and told.
Oh, that was great. The hug was so good.
But he said, you're my favorite.
Yeah.
As he was hugging Loki, but he was looking at Sylvie. It was really fun. Back at the TVA.
Yeah.
I feel I like Ravonna. I am happy with where we've landed with her. I enjoy that she's not a full villain, like a hard mustache twirling villain.
Right.
I like this she's so committed to the lie.
Well,
or so committed to the.
So it's not even that at this point, because what I found was really interesting about the things she was saying in this episode was she was like, it can't all have been for nothing. Because Mobius was like, they lied to us. We're all, and she was like, I get it, but like there has to be a reason. So she's not necessarily committed to the lie, but she's like
she's committed to the thing. I mean, she refuses to let her life's work.
Exactly. She's in the place where she's like, I can't have done all of these things for nothing. So it has to be for something. So she's trying to find out.
How do you feel about her and Mobius? Do you get romantic vibes or do you get platonic vibes? And which do you prefer?
So I got romantic vibes from him until he pruned her. And now it's mostly platonic
Vice
on
versa.
both sides. I was
No,
never.
until she pruned him.
Yes.
You said he pruned her.
Oh, my bad.
Okay.
So she pruned him.
It's like I missed that one.
But I'm not getting. I've never gotten romantic vibes from her to him. It was always from him.
We are a fan of a unique dynamic, and platonic male-female friendships are relatively unique, and especially given these two actors.
Yeah.
Their scene together where she kind of unhinged a little bit on him was nice. Her character was weird to me the whole time because it was very sort of like when you're watching SVU and it's like the most famous guest star is the killer. It was that sort of a thing happening. Sure. And after seeing this last episode, I'm like, okay, I get her thing. I'm so curious how much any of this is going to spill over into the movies.
Same.
I think it's not going to. I think we're going to want it to, but I think it's going to largely be like jumping boards, like off screen sort of.
Sure. Here's the thing. I am excited for a season 2. I would have been excited for a season 2 of any of the shows that happened, you know, assuming that they figured out a way for it to work. That being said, so help me God, if this show turns into Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., like level bullshit, I am not going to be in it. I'm going to be so pissed that that's happening.
I just want to, I mean, I know Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. had big fans and stuff like that, but it had a light version, an MCU light feeling.
And then it's just a whole separate thing. Like that, like the movies impacted the show, but the show had no impact on the movies. And I want this to have more synergy. I want both to impact one another.
Well, like I want for Gugu or
Mobius.
Yeah.
Owen Wilson.
I couldn't think of his name. I want for one of them to show up in one of the movies, and for us to not have to explain who they are. 100%. You know what I mean? Like
100%. Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be like this huge scene, but it's like I want this to pay off.
I want Owen Wilson walking in the background of a scene like a cryptid.
Well, I mean, I want him to have a line.
No, of course, me too. But it's
like, I mean, I guess he could just also do that as long as he takes his clothes off.
Ooh, now we're talking.
The Hunter B12, what's her name? B15?
B15.
She took one of the other hunters to Ohio in 2018, where apparently Ravonna was a principal.
Yeah.
So maybe one of the other hunters and the or no, she was talking to Mobius at the end.
Yeah.
So,
but that hunter now is on B-15's side. That other hunter is like, oh. And so I think they're going to systematically, well, I think they were trying to systematically get the hunters to like understand. But now there appears to have been some sort of memory wipe from Sylvie killing Kang, or He Who Remains at the end.
So yeah, her and Loki had another throne room fight with each other, and they kissed. It's fine.
Well, it's just like after this long, I was like, yay! But I don't. There's no consequence.
She chapped my ass this episode.
Yeah.
But, and so she killed Kang, and he was like really into it. But basically, because of the nature of the multiverse and what he explicitly said, there are other versions of him that are all going to be bearing down on.
Yeah. So, okay, in that sense, then you were correct at the beginning, where like this guy was not Kang the Conqueror, but one of his versions is Kang the Conqueror.
Okay.
So Jonathan Majors is apparently like in phase 4. So
I like what he did.
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
It was
fun.
very unhinged and cool and kind of silly and very dramatic and like sad. And like he got to a place where he was like, they were like, why are you doing this? And he was like, I'm tired and I'm old and I don't want to do it anymore.
There's essentially two ways you can take a character like this, and he kind of picked the road less traveled.
Yeah, which I liked a lot. And it because they actually then got to like have their cake and eat it too. We were making so many jokes about it being like a man behind the curtain, like in The Wizard of Oz. And he kind of was.
It was both, yeah.
And yet he also had the power. So it was good. I liked it.
So the timelines.
Oh boy. That first of all, that was real pretty. And then second of all, it went straight to shit immediately because it started branching and then the branches started branching and then those branches started branching. So then it was just like a big swirly thing in the sky at the end.
So yeah, I can't wait to see where Strange and Wanda fit in all this.
Hard same.
I mean, I guess the Spider-Man, well, the Shang-Chi, but I don't know how related to this.
Shang-Chi, Eternals, then Spider-Man.
Then Spider-Man.
Yeah, we have so much Marvel property this year.
I'm actually the most pumped for Eternals.
Yeah, I think it looks good.
I'm gonna get an Angelina Jolie doll.
Ooh.
I might get like 5.
5 Eternals dolls?
Well, because I'm gonna want Richard Madden and Gemma Chan, and then there's gonna be a Kumail Nanjiani.
Okay, I tell you what, I'll buy you Kumail. But he sits on my shelf.
It's on. We have it recorded.
I'll do it.
We have it recorded.
You let me know when he's ready. I'll buy him for you.
No, I'm super stoked to see Angelina, and blonde Angelina. That's bold. So Loki came back.
Yeah.
All like the sky is fall. Oh no, I mean like
we have to. It's this guy. He's coming. We have to like blah 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 blah. And then Mobius didn't know him anymore.
He was like, "Calm down."
He's like, "You're an analyst,
right?
What's
your unit?"
Oh.
And then there was a statue of Jonathan Majors.
Yeah. Instead of in the place of the timekeeper statue that was there before. It was like a giant Jonathan Majors.
Round of applause to Natalie Holt for a very interesting score.
Was that
fun score?
Oh, with all the theremins? Yeah. Also, Kate Herron, a lady, directed all 6 episodes. Love to see it.
And a lady editor.
Yeah.
Although
cool.
that's actually been one of the few jobs that was traditionally female. In Hollywood.
No, love to see it. We want more ladies directing in the MCU for sure. I think it's good.
So all in all, I think it was a great run. I guess my main critique, based on these 3 shows we've seen so far, is I guess I would just personally like a little bit more of an understanding what we're doing. A more clear
what's the point?
Purpose.
What's the point with what's the glorious purpose? Within the framework of the MCU.
We're frequently, first of all, I mean, surprises and spoilers and all that. I mean, that's fun and I want that.
Yeah.
And we're frequently criticizing movie trailers that give too much away. But I just wouldn't hate sort of, I don't know. And maybe it's me. Maybe I'm being obtuse.
I don't want anybody to give anything away. We
get to a place where by the final episode we're like, that's what we were doing.
Sure.
Okay.
Based on a single viewing of all 3 series, this one was definitely my favorite because I could see the whole time how this was gonna just merge into the multiverse of madness. It was about timelines the entire time. I was like, it's gonna go right into that. It's gonna be great. But the other 2 are a lot more nebulous in how they connect to the MCU at large. And I know that they do. You know what I mean? Like out of WandaVision, really Wanda is the only direct through line. You know what I mean? So that, and like, who knows what they were doing with Falcon and Winter Soldier? There was a lot that like we didn't really get.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. It's like ultimately any of the big twists or surprises weren't all that earth shattering.
Sure.
So ultimately, there was really no need in it being veiled in such secrecy.
Exactly. And so that's sort of the thing. I definitely agree with that. Were we to continue with more TV shows, which we are, we're getting a Hawkeye and something else, right? What if? And are they not doing Wakanda? Maybe.
I thought like the Dora Milaje were getting a...
Maybe. You might have dreamed that.
That sounds fake.
That being said, I know that we're getting more of some of this, but I do agree with you. That is what I would prefer more of going forward, is like, what are we actually doing? What are the stakes? What am I meant to be getting out of this in relation to the universe as a whole? But generally, all around,
it's been fun.
Very good.
And it's certainly been enjoyable.
Yeah, and it's wasted like 3/4 of the year already. So hey, thanks, guys.
2 quarters.
Still, very well done. All right, yeah. Well, I will see you for season 2.
Head on over to our Patreon if you want to watch us watch Drag Race.
Yep.
Season 7 of Drag Race, or you can watch us cover season 6 of All Stars concurrently.
Yep.
We think we're going to be doing American Horror Stories and American Horror Story. Yeah. We'll see how that gets going. There's a lot of stuff happening that we're trying to juggle
as much as we can. Just keep an eye out. We'll definitely be back for season 2 of Loki. We're almost definitely doing Hawkeye whenever that actually comes out.
If you want to find out more of where you can find us and what we're doing, head on over to soimwatching.com.
Yep. Bye.